Hi, welcome to Craft with Kathie. This is Kathie Bakken. I'm an independent designer with Couture. Tonight's project is going to be doing a welcome sign with a little bit of a twist. I'm using this really interesting transfer. It's called Welcome Welcome, and as you can see there are a couple different images of the word welcome. I've already cut one out that I'm using for tonight, and there's different scripts. And then there's some additional wording. There's friends, there's all our, there's my, there's to our home, so it could be to my home, welcome to my home, welcome to our home, welcome friends, all are welcome, stay a while, all are welcome here, and then welcome to the porch. So you can mix and match as your needs or desires fit. And a lot of flexibility. Our transfers are reusable 8 to 12 times or more. They are made of vinyl and silk screen. You're seeing through the silk screen to the little backer sheet. And because of the silk screen, we get beautiful high definition and clarity. And there's no weeding or fiddling with a machine. And I'm going to be actually doing this on a simple shape. This is a 5 by 12 inch simple shape. It's whitewashed wood. And before I get started with it, I am going to do a little waxing of it. And of course, because I just fell in love with this color paste, it's our paste of the month, March's paste of the month. It's called Academia, and it is a deep bluish green kind of color, real deep, but you just want to get lost in it. It's beautiful, and I just absolutely love it. I actually toyed with the idea of painting my surface with it first and using like white chalk paste, but then I changed my mind and said I'll just use the Academia for the images and the words on here. So I'm just applying a little bit of paste on my surface with a little applicator. If you don't have an applicator, you could use a soft cloth or even paper towel if you have to. So I'm just rubbing a little coat all over it. And I'll tell you in a moment why we wax our wood or what the purpose is behind it. So once I have it totally coated, I'm going to come back with the other side of my applicator and rub it in and rub off any excess. The reason that we wax our wood is to prevent a barrier between the wood and our transfer, because our transfers are adhesive backed, and I don't want to lift up any paint or any splinter or any impurities or anything loose from the wood. The other reason is by actually applying the wax and then buffing it in and taking off the excess, I'm smoothing out the surface. You could feel the difference with your fingers once you've waxed a piece of wood. It actually fills in kind of any little lower spots between the grain of the wood. So that actually prevents your transfer from feathering for the most part. So I'm just rubbing it in really quick. And you can feel, once you know you've, if you're not sure how much to rub it, rub your hand across it. You'll feel the difference. You'll know when it's nice and smooth and you rubbed off the excess. It's really easy to do, only takes a moment or two. And I'm actually using our surface wax. This comes in a little 2.5 ounce can, and it is unscented, which makes me a happy camper because I have to admit that some kind of chemical smells really bother me and actually give me a headache. Isn't that weird? But what I found with our surface wax, it's a little container, only 2.5 ounces, and it doesn't dry out by the time I get to the bottom of the can, because I don't wax everything, just basically wood. Well, there are some exceptions to that when I do wax over a coat of chalk or whatever, but that's a tale for another day. So I don't go through it that quickly, and you only need a little dab, so it really isn't that big of a deal to do. Yes. And this project is called Welcome with a Twist, and you'll see why or what the little twist is in a few moments. I am using the welcome from the transfer I just showed you. It's in block letters. And I think it'll go nicely with this. And yes, it looks used here because yes, I have used this once. I actually am reshooting the beginning of this video because there was an issue with it. So there are actually 3 different reasons to wax. First, to protect your transfer. When you're putting your transfer onto a wood surface, the painted or unpainted, there's always the potential of lifting up a splinter or possibly some paint. So by applying a little barrier of wax, you protect your transfer. It's more unlikely that that will happen. Second reason is by creating this barrier of wax, when you put down your chalk paste, it doesn't get absorbed into the wood as quickly as it would otherwise. And sometimes if you catch a mistake quickly, you can wipe off the chalk paste without it having already basically stained the wood. And the third reason to wax is wood grain is uneven. It's not totally smooth. So when you apply the wax, you're creating a smoother layer than you would have otherwise, and it's less likely that when you apply the chalk paste that you will get feathering with the paste actually going into the little dips in the wood grain. So 3 real good reasons to wax. It doesn't take much time and it's fairly easy. And I like our surface wax because it's unscented and doesn't give me a headache. But what I found with our surface wax, it's a little container, only 2.5 ounces, and it doesn't dry out by the time I get to the bottom of the can, because I don't wax everything, just basically wood. Well, there are some exceptions to that when I do wax over a coat of chalk or whatever, but that's a tale for another day. So I don't go through it that quickly, and you only need a little dab, so it really isn't that big of a deal to do. Yes, and this project is called Welcome with a Twist, and you'll see why or what the little twist is in a few moments. I am using the welcome from the transfer I just showed you. It's in block letters. And I think it'll go nicely with this. If you do not have a fuzzing cloth, you can use a towel or a shirt or whatever. And you know what? Right now I'm gonna use a dish towel. I just bought these and I think they're really nice. And I'm hoping they'll put a little bit of fiber on the back of this transfer. The reason you fuzz your transfer is to lessen the stickiness a bit, and especially when they're new, they're more sticky than when you've used them. When you clean them, you remove all the fibers from the back, and that pretty much renews the adhesiveness to a certain extent. At some point, they will start diminishing a little bit, but there are ways around that. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. Okay, so I'm going to position it on here. And I'm putting it right near the top because I have something coming at the bottom underneath it. Let me just get that straight. And this is from from our new manufacturer. They're a little translucent, a little see-through there. See, this is our small squeegee. I always use our minis to chalk with, so this seems so big, but I think part of the reason is it's a little bit more awkward to get into the jar of paste. Let me grab a stir stick. Oh, what the heck. I'll just use a mini. It's what I use most of the time anyway. I just love this color. A little bit of paste goes a long way, and it seems like on the transfers from this new manufacturer, you use even less paste. If that was possible, I wouldn't have thought so, but sure looks like it here. So you want to apply it. You don't have to use a lot of pressure or anything. Just kind of slide across the transfer, across the silk screen. Remove any lines, remove any excess paste, put the excess paste back into the jar, and then lift the transfer. I don't lift by the corners. I always lift by the side or the top because I don't want to pull or stretch our transfers. How cool is that? Okay, let me get my put this aside to dry. And I'm going to get my other transfer that I'm going to be using on this. Remember I said it's welcome with a twist. So here comes the twist. This is from Family of Gnomes. And I'm going to cut out this phrase at the bottom that says hanging with my gnomies and get a little creative with it. It's so much fun to mix and match images and words from different transfers. And if this is corny, that's fine. Maybe it's corny. I just thought it was kind of cute, so we'll see how it turns out. Obviously, I have to find my fuzzing cloths, but a dish towel will work in a pinch. And I'm actually going to only fuzz part of this because I'm only using one word off of this. So why bother fuzzing the whole thing? If you fuzz the whole thing, you still have to wash the whole back, even if you only use part of it. Once you get the ink out, you still have to take the lint from the fuzzing cloth off. So that's what I'm avoiding having to do. I'm just doing the area that I need here. Oops. Okay. I'm going to make sure that's down. And this is why I went with the mini as opposed to the small. I knew I had to do this. I might pull that back just a teensy bit more so that I can get the G down on the surface well. I want to make sure I do not go off the transfer. I actually have too much paste here. So I just went off. Okay. Let me lift that, and I need to do a little quick cleanup. So I'm just taking a little board eraser here and wetting it. Let's see if I can get in there to clean that up before it, there we go. Now, I don't know if it had that underneath the O or not. Oh yeah, it did. I forgot. I didn't realize there was a little line underneath the O from Gnomies. So I'm going to put this aside to dry, and I'm going to clean this transfer really quick because I want to reuse it, but I don't trust myself to be careful enough of not getting the paste where I don't want it. So let me clean this up. Get all that chalk paste out of there. Wow, doesn't the board eraser make cleaning your transfers so easy? Even that little sliver of the board eraser just made short work of this. I only use it on the top. I do not use it on the adhesive side, and just wipe the adhesive side with a disinfecting wipe. Oh boy, that dish towel left a lot of lint on here. Okay, let me clean that off. I probably didn't need to fuzz quite as much as I did there. Okay, I'm going to set it aside to dry on a flat surface, sticky side up. Let's get that flat. There we go. Now, a Family of Gnomes comes with a couple other little images. I'm going to use some of the flowers, I think, so let me quickly cut them away apart while I wait for that to dry. And then I've got one other image that I want to put on here. Not sure how I'm going to use them yet, but I've got an idea. I'm not sure what all is going to fit, so let me grab the other piece that I need. I don't think what I was thinking is going to quite fit. I think it might be a little bit too tall, just a little bit too tall. So I was going to put the dog on here. I'm going to go with the cat because the cat is a little bit shorter. This still needs to finish drying. But let me fuzz the cat here. Like I said, I'm only going to fuzz part of it. Suggestions on what color I should go with the cat? I had my brown out to do the dog, but being that I'm doing the cat instead, anyone want to give me an opinion or a suggestion on that? I'm going to fuzz this kind of reversed so that I'm just pressing this towel against the cat and not the whole image, because less for me to clean, and this really leaves a lot of fuzz. Oh, I like my fuzzing cloth much better than a dish towel. So what do you think I should use for the cat gnome? I'm wondering if I could use peach cobbler and shimmer melon for the cat. I think that's what I'm going to go with. A little bit different, but why not? I'm so tired of winter. Come on, spring. Tired of the snow, even though we really haven't had a lot of accumulation. It's been pretty mild all in all. I might do a little bit of a hot mess technique here tonight on this. The colors are close, but whatever. Okay, so I'm going to leave this dry. Normally I use my fuzzing cloth to speed dry it, but I'm not going to go with that. Turn this around. See where I could fit this cat. I'm going to grab a couple different squeegees here to do the hot mess. Okay, so I'm only going to do the cat. See if I can move this up to get it more in frame. And I'm going to use the shimmer melon and the peach cobbler. I can't really do white because I'm on a white surface, so it's not going to show up, but we'll try and get this to hopefully look. Oh wait, I probably should do the hat in one color. Dang it, I was thinking of something else. Okay, well, we'll do the hat like this. And if I have anything a little bit darker, I kind of have like a rust that might go good here for the cat. Maybe more of the rust and the peach. I haven't opened up my rust. Let me do that really quick. I should be careful not to open that over my project, right? I should learn. Okay, I'm just going to scoop a little bit off the lid here and dab it around my cat. Now, obviously, this is just the outline, but we'll see if it could make a little bit of a difference in the outcome of how it looks. And a little rust up here on the ears. Okay. Generally, I wet a finger and just kind of like blend this together when using the hot mess. You could use a squeegee. I'm going to do most of it with my finger here. And I don't want to really mix the colors too much. I want somewhat of a modeling and then a little bit of a mixture. So let me go back over this with my squeegee and clean it up. And I think what I'm looking for is more like a calico cat, if that's what they're called. I suspect that the hot mess technique here is really not going to look much different. It really works when you have a lot of silk screen, and this is just basically a line, pretty much a line drawing of the cat. So with just the outline being the different colors, I think the hot mess is not gonna really show up. It's probably gonna look pretty much like just one color outline, but we'll see. Usually better on a larger surface, actually. I'm on a roll with this tonight. What could I say? I did a little smearing in here, which I didn't intend to. See if I could wipe that up. Now, if I can't get this off right and it looks funny, I could go back in here and actually maybe lay down the black over the cat and just paint it. Fill it in, paint it. And that might be what I do, because I did smear it a little bit. I must not have had my transfer all the way down. I've got a little smudge. And it looks like the rust kind of overpowered this anyway. Yeah, I'll probably just lay I'll lay black over it and go back and paint it. Why not, right? Okay, so almost done. I'm going to fuzz this again, my gnomey word, and borrow the letter E from it. So this then will say, welcome gnome. And grab a little bit of paste and just catch my E. Oh, this begs for a multi-tool. Too tight of an area for me to get in here with a squeegee. That poor cat gnome doesn't look very happy, does he? I'm going to fuzz this on my jeans instead. That dish towel was definitely too much lint. Oh. Better wait until that dries a little bit. Can't quite fit it in where I needed to. And I'm getting a little carried away here because I wasn't really planning on doing so many colors, but I think I'm going to do the stems in green and the flowers in, I'm not sure what yet, right? Okay, this is my forest green shimmer and it's a little thick and I'm not thinning it down, hoping this is going to work out okay. If you're finding this video useful, entertaining, or enjoyable, please consider subscribing to my channel. Have you heard of Club Couture? Club Couture is a monthly subscription package that brings an hour or so of creativity right to your doorstep. Shipping is free. You get an 8.5 by 11 inch transfer that is exclusive to club members and designers only. 3 individual, specifically color coordinated paste packets to go with the transfer, detailed instructions, and a link to a video, all for only $21.99 a month. Treat yourself, you deserve it. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Club Couture, comment club below or look in the description of this video. So I'm going to move along with the adding of the flowers here. I'm really not happy with how my cat gnome looks. He looks a little unhappy or sad or whatever. And I think I'm going to color him in and definitely change the color of that hat. And then see if it's more in line with what I'm going for. For this flower, I'm going to use the Shimmer Melon. And the flower next to the cat, it's going to be in Bumblebee. Part of the joy of chalking is to be able to change the colors and mix and match as you want. If you don't have a color, mix 2 or more and come up with your own customized color. But I like being able to look at something, say, that's not quite right, let me make a change to it without scrapping it and starting over. I mean, it really is pretty simple. Here I'm just lining up the flower that I missed the blossom with, lining up the stem, and then I'll just chalk it using the multi-tool. It's kind of a little cramped area to get into, so the multi-tool really kind of worked the best for that. So let me see what I could do with this grumpy little cat. Gotta cheer him up somehow. So I started painting the inside of the cat using some watered down chalk paste. And I was looking for kind of like a tabby cat, and the more I did, the worse it got. It looked like this poor cat had the measles or something by the time I was done. So I kind of scrapped that idea and said, no, this doesn't really quite do it either. And sometimes part of the creative process just goes like that. An idea, when put into action, doesn't always turn out as we envision it. So instead of scrapping it, sometimes you just need to work with it, massage it, turn it inside out, try a different approach, try something different. I persisted until I had this whole cat totally speckled, and yes, then he looked like a sick little cat. So that really didn't fly either. I mean, he really looked like he had the measles. So then I decided the best approach would just to be color him in, add maybe some different colors in a small area instead of making him speckled, and see how he came out. So I actually filled him in using the, I think the peach tone. And then of course he had to definitely change that hat. Even the addition of the white spots didn't help it. It just went from bad to worse. So let me show you what I did as an alternate idea. I decided to color it in so it's one solid color, and then went back and added some white, giving the cat a white chest and white paws in front, so I nicknamed him Socks, and added a little bit of white also to his tail. Have you heard of Transfer Palooza? Right now to the end of March, buy 3 transfers and get 1 for free. Free transfer will be the lowest priced of what you've selected. And there's no limit. Buy 8, get 2 free. Buy 12, get 3 free. Take advantage of it. And we also have going on right now 50% off of our Easter, religious, and spring transfers. And yes, you can combine that with Transfer Palooza. And to make things even better, we have select paste palette packets that went on sale until the 23rd that are now 20% off. So grab those paste palettes for 20% off until March 23rd. How cool is this? March Madness is in full swing because we also have the Luckiest bundle on sale for 50% off. And I know St. Pat's was yesterday, but the Luckiest bundle is perfect for St. Pat's any year. Gives you 2 8.5 by 11 inch transfers and coordinating individual paste packets to make what you want. I did a couple different things with my kit, and they turned out adorable. I'll leave the link for any of these specials in the description below. So if you'd like to check them out, just check out the description. And as always, if you have any questions about this project or any other project or just talking in general, drop me a comment and I will get back to you. I'm always happy to be helpful wherever I can be. So don't be shy, just ask. Now I'm adding the white, like little accents to the chest to go along with the white paws. Remember, this little cat's name is Socks, and that's where he got his name. And oops, I think I'm going to add a little bit of white to the tail. Why not, right? Just as a little bit of an accent there. So now that he's all colored in, I'm going to lay this transfer back over him and do the outline in a brown. And I think that'll make things pop a little bit, and hopefully he won't be looking so sad. Okay, so I am going to come back here with that transfer, fuzz it, and put the outline on our dear little Socks. And I am going to go with the brown instead of the rust. Let me get my bark paste out here. So I'm going to just fuzz the area of the transfer that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to fuzz the entire transfer with all these different images and all the different gnomes. I will just fuzz my cat, and then that way when I clean it, all I have to do is clean that area instead of the entire transfer. Kind of just dabbing at it. Wow, that's almost perfectly aligned. Is that weird or what? A little bit more difficult being that I've got the backer sheet on it yet, but I think I could get this in place. I think that looks pretty good. Now this is going to be his cap, so I'm going to leave that as it is. I think that's his cap, right? Yeah, I want my white in there to stay. So I'm going to take a little squeegee to get into the tinier spots right up at the beginning here. I don't want to actually do that line because the line is going to be the hat. And I'm going to do that in the academia. Well, maybe not. I don't know why I'm just being so picky-unish here. I'm fine. I don't have to get right up to that line. I want to work fairly quickly though because I don't want to liquefy the layer of paste underneath it and get it to bleed. So I'm removing any lines, smoothing it out, and let's take a look at what that looks like so far. Oh, I think it looks good. Okay, on to the hat. Clean off my squeegee, cover up my paste, and get my academia. Ah, such a pretty color. Okay, I've got it all smoothed out, everything covered. Let's do a peel and reveal. Oh yeah, much improved, don't you think? He doesn't even look as cranky anymore, does he? I realized that I actually missed the bottom of the hat, kind of like the rim or the border or whatever. It's kind of thick, and I didn't have an outline around it, and I didn't catch it. So I did go ahead and color in the rest of it with the academia, and I think it looks pretty cool all in all. I'll make sure that that's the thumbnail for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I greatly appreciate it. See you soon.